Jai Bhim. Today I'll be reading a story from the book No Lockdown on Caste Atrocities Stories of Caste Crimes During the COVID 19 Pandemic, soon to be released by dhrdnet and zubaanbooks. The book contains 60 stories of caste crimes that took place during the COVID 19 induced lockdown in India in 2020. The book will soon be available at no cost on the Zuban and dhrdnet websites. Shot dead for loving a Vokkalika girl. Since the upper caste girl would not obey her family and stay away from Madhu, the family killed the Dalit boy to end the relationship. All her life, Shivamma struggled to make ends meet and ensure that her two sons, Madhu and Manu, had enough food to eat and a basic education. Their father had deserted the family, and it was the mother who was both the breadwinner and sole protector of the boys. The three of them stuck with each other through the best and worst times at the Supanahalli village in Allur Taluk of Karnataka's Hassan district. Caste divisions are powerful and enforced ferociously in this agrarian area, which falls under the old Mysore region of the state, and as Dalits, Madhu, Manu, and Shivamma were conscious of caste brutality. However, the power of teenage love is such that it is blind to the threats of caste and rules of law. Madhu was in his early 20s when he fell in love with Rekha, who was yet to turn 18. The girl, who belonged to the dominant caste, reciprocated his feelings. The couple knew that the girl's family would not allow her to marry a Dalit boy and would go to any extent to tear them apart. The couple broke the law when they decided to elope 2 years ago. Since the girl was a minor at the time, her angry family filed a case under the Stringent Protection of Children Against Sexual Offences Act 2012 (POCSO) against Madhu. Irrespective of whether Madhu and Rekha were in love, eloping with a minor girl is a serious crime. Madhu was arrested and he spent a few months in jail. His aging mother and brother moved pillar to post and took the case to the courts. The family spent all its savings and borrowed money for legal expenses, and finally the court granted bail for Madhu. Though he was released, Shivamma knew that her older son could turn into a target for dominant castes at any point of time. She and her younger son, Manu, convinced Madhu to find safe refuge in Bengaluru and stay away from the village. Madhu struggled to survive in the bustling metropolis but managed to get a job and make ends meet. He even managed to send money back home to his mother and brother. However, the lockdown threw his life out of gear yet again. He had no work in the city and could not stay on. With no other option, Madhu returned to Supanahalli in April and took up a job at a local workshop. Shivamma, who works as a cleaner at a hotel, was happy to have both her sons back home, but her happiness would be short lived. She and Manu had told Madhu categorically not to talk to Rekha. They knew the slightest provocation could lead to a massive retaliation. The nervousness was a constant subtext to the joyful reunion and moments of togetherness that the mother and her two sons enjoyed. On the 15th of July, Madhu, who had settled into the village routine, headed to the local temple with a couple of his friends. On their way back, they were suddenly stopped by Rekha's uncle Rupesh. Little did anyone expect that things would turn bloody in a few seconds. Rupesh pulled out a country-made double-barrel gun used in hunting and from point-blank range fired into Madhu. The boy writhed in pain and fell to the ground. The tragic incident unfolded within a span of minutes at around 3:15 p.m., and Madhu's friends were too stunned to react. The gunshots were so loud and powerful that it sent tremors through the serene rural setting and killed Madhu instantly. His body lay motionless on the fields as his shocked friends watched blood ooze out. Shivamma and Manu were devastated when they heard the tragic turn of events. They struggled to grapple with the reality that Madhu would not return home after a simple visit to seek the gods because caste had permanently silenced a loved brother and son. It is not clear what triggered Rupesh's anger. After the incident, Manu told news reporters that he had specifically told his brother not to speak to Rekha and was not sure if the two had got in touch. A grieving Shivamma had told Madhu not to get in touch with the girl and thought that he had not. However, Rekha was now a major. The law would be on her side if she decided to walk out on her family. Madhu and Rekha got back in touch with each other, and that possibly triggered the girl's family into plotting the boy's murder. The sheer brazenness with which Rupesh gunned down Madhu in broad daylight and in the presence of his friends goes to show the intent was to send a message of fear, unlike an act committed in a fit of rage. The Vokkalika caste dominates the politics of this region and aggressively asserts their identity. The murder of Madhu in broad daylight was, perhaps, to send a message of fear to all Dalit families in the area. A month ago, Rupesh had openly said that he would kill Madhu if he had ever tried to talk to the girl again. But we did not approach the police then. But now he has done this, said Madhu's brother Manu, according to a report in The Hindu published on the 16th of July. Manu and Shivamma have embarked on a long road to justice for their murdered son. Rupesh and his father, Shive Gowda, have been named as accused in a case filed at the Allur police station, and sections under IPC and SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act have been invoked. Only 0.4% convictions are achieved in SC/ST cases. As of March 2020, of the 9,702 cases reported, only 46 have led to conviction, according to the Gauri Lankesh news site, which tracks issues pertaining to Dalit rights closely. NCRB data also suggests that crimes against SC/ST to population ratio is highest in Karnataka, while Uttar Pradesh reported that most cases in 2019, in terms of absolute number, 2,309 cases and 2,358 victims, the rate of cases, which is 5.6% per 1 lakh population of SC/ST people, was less than half of that of Karnataka, which was at least a whopping 12.8% for every 1 lakh people, that is 1,298 cases and 1,520 victims.